topics in sports entertainment.
Pro wrestling talk from the four corners of parts unknown. This is That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. The good bad guys of wrestling podcast are back talking all things of the week that was in professional wrestling. All four of us are here. We are days away from Halloween. Is everybody ready for Halloween? How we doing for Halloween? You guys, anybody dressing up or anything?
I'm dressing up as a 40-year-old man who loves wrestling.
Yeah. So wait, because
you're 41, so I get the costume.
Yeah, you're going younger.
Smart.
So I know what Brett's costume is, and I don't know if we want to say what it is because it's going to be revealed in the football picks.
Yeah,
but
not everybody
go ahead and
listens
say it.
to this.
Yeah,
or not everyone that listens to this watches the football pick videos. Even people on this show, they may not watch the football picks.
That's true.
I will tell you this: if you're going to watch one football pick video, Brett's videos this week might be the best videos of all time.
All right.
This Halloween picks.
If I watch it on Saturday and you're not here next week, we know it sucked. So, and you are no longer a part of this program.
So, okay. So then, Kev, how did you get out of a family themed costume?
I've never done it. Laura's not a fan.
Wow. Okay.
Laura's cool.
Yeah,
Laura's cool about that shit.
Okay.
She didn't want to wear matching clothes at Disney. She didn't want to make shirts.
Do your thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife, the matching shirt at Disney was Ed shirts. So I'm like, okay, if we're going to do matching shirts at Disney, it's got to be wrestling related. And it was her idea. So I went with that.
I'll say this, Bri. You and your family do incredible stuff. Just not our thing.
Okay. Yeah. To each his own. That's good. I hope everybody has a good, safe, and happy Halloween. We're back doing this on Thursday night. Last week we were back on Wednesday, and Jay, with our recording schedule switched up last week, you just had to go on another podcast on a Thursday night, didn't you? Couldn't resist.
What the hell else am I supposed to do? For the last 91 Thursdays, I've been on. What the fuck am I going to do?
Right.
I don't know what to do. So, I jumped on the WrestleSense podcast, and it was a lot of fun. Doc, who's been on this show, has he's on with that's my wife. My delivery came. WrestleSense. Yeah. So they had one of their guys had to miss. And I said, hey, I don't have anything if you need a fourth. And it was a lot of fun. I'm a little annoyed. No, I'm not annoyed, but I'm bummed because I had mic issues. And when Doc did the show, I made him do a 30-minute test on his mic. Like we talked a couple days before, moved around, and then I watched the video to make sure that it was good. And I got the link, I think, 10 minutes before we went on the air live streaming on YouTube. And when I had to text him for the link. And he's my friend, and I'm just giving him a hard time. He wrote back, here's the link, diva.
Ooh.
Oh.
And I'm like,
right off.
And then literally one of the people watching was like, hey, what's up with the audio or finicky audio or whatever the fuck. But it was fun. It's a different show than what we do. Look, it is four friends just like us. But they're a little more extreme. Lot of F words were tossed around more than normal, even though I just said one. A lot of more things to do with body parts and tongues and things like that, but it was a lot of fun. I those guys are great. Give them a chance. WrestleSense podcast. They stream live on YouTube every Thursday on their YouTube channel, and they use StreamYard. And I'm hoping we can eventually evolve into that. And I got to give Blaze credit, man. Like I told him on the show, like he's a host. He's a producer. he's directing with the switcher and everything. Like, that's a lot of shit. You know, we just do this on Zoom to have some fun. And go check it out last week. It was a lot of fun. And my best part was I didn't have to do anything but be a talent. So I felt like Joe and Kevin for once. And Joe, that's not that you have talent.
Nope,
You're just
you
a
said
talent
it.
by title.
It's on the internet. It's forever. You call me talent.
You're a talent and title. You don't have talent. But it was just cool to just do it. I don't have to download anything. I don't have to edit anything. I don't have to, upload. It was a good time. So
one night stand in the podcast world.
yeah. So,
with tongue talk and F-bombs.
Tongue talk, F-bombs, and the one thing I did do, I joke with Doc, kind of joke, but I'm kind of, I'm a few years older than him, so I'm like, it's brotherly love, but like, he is a pro wrestling commentator at a bunch of promotions in Pittsburgh, but the best promotion is IWC. He's not working there yet, and I want him to be there so bad. And CJ, who's on the show, he's a referee at IWC, so I'm like, CJ, how do we get Doc at IWC?
I saw
Doc
that part
kind of embarrassed, but Doc thought it was going to get him some heat. A week later, he has no heat, and hopefully a step closer to IWC because the world wants it.
Put those positive vibes out there.
Question though, for everyone who gets annoyed by you eating during the show, what are you going to be eating today?
What are you eating?
What are you eating? What are you eating?
Was that Chick-fil-A?
What are you
eating?
It is
Chick-fil-A
today. Hey,
holy shit. So
the waffles.
I asked my wife to order food, and I said, "Yeah."
Is it a spicy chicken?
No. I was like, "Can you get me some Chick-fil-A sauce?" I didn't know they sold it in the fucking container.
You got that for another week or two at least.
Well, hopefully longer than that. Fuck.
At least I said.
Just drink the whole bottle right now.
Chug it.
If one of you PayPal me $500 right now, the three of you, I will drink this from the tube.
Shit.
Not worth it.
With
the WrestleSense guys, are wrestling shirts mandatory on their show?
No. That's why I didn't wear one. I wore the Uranus Fire Department shirt that I got.
Yes, the municipality.
So I was going to wear, I probably should have wore that wrestling podcast shirt, but I didn't want to be like Dave LaGreca at the Halloween Havoc show.
Oh, yeah, he got a lot of flack for that.
Wearing a shirt with his fucking face on it. So
your shirt with your face on it, but your face. That was a good.
So what you're saying is you're anti wearing our brand on someone else's podcast. I just want to get that clear.
It's.
Oh, I see what you did there.
You see what I did on that one,
I
right?
did, yeah. Yeah.
I don't make you wear that wrestling podcast shirt on our. I mean, you were on a podcast a couple weeks ago.
That's what
that's what I was getting at, and you gave me such crap for not wearing it. You're like, you should be wearing that wrestling podcast. I'm like, it's an education podcast. It's not about wrestling. I was an expert in the field.
This sounds like
they thought I had talent.
This sounds like this needs to be a J-Fade rule. We gotta get this clear. That can we wear our wrestling podcast shirts on other podcasts? Yay or nay? And let's get it all
down. I just chose not to.
All right,
Brian. Do you know what though? We do wear wrestling shirts on this podcast.
Indeed, we do, Kev. Let's begin
Nicely
with what
done,
are you
Kevin.
wearing?
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
Yes, Kevin, thank you for getting us back on track. You may begin this week's What Are You Wearing?
I'm actually doing a multi-layer because it's dang cold in my house for some reason. Weather fluctuating too crazy. Sin City SummerSlam. Just gonna brag a little bit. That Jane I went last year.
So that porno, yeah, we were there.
Very exhilarating.
Oh, okay. This is the Vegas. I'm like
the Vegas.
I had a little brain fart of what this was. Yeah.
But underneath, classic black and white NWO. No other explanation needed. Joe, it looks like you're wearing like a cardigan.
No, this is another man.
He's an expert in education, and that's what they wear, cardigans.
No, Kevin, I'm in the same boat as you. It's like it's a little chilly here. Like the temperature just went down. I thought you were wearing the NWO shirt in honor of Kevin Nash's son passing away. Like, I thought that's because I almost wore the exact same one for that reason, but I'm like, let's leave that one alone. But I went with the Balor Club shirt because I felt like Judgment Day had a great Raw this week, especially Rhea Ripley on Luke Gallows. But I think that the Judgment Day is finally just get some. They needed the OC to go against. It gives it more of a flavor than the Mysterio or Edge. Sorry, Edge, love Edge, but I think this is a feud that works best.
Well, speaking of flavor, much like the Chick-fil-A sauce I have on my waffle fries, I broke out something from Impact Days. The Joker's Sting.
I remember that. Yeah.
I actually had something else I was going to wear, and then I saw this one. I'm like, yeah, I haven't worn this one yet. So Joker's Sting from Impact, because he wasn't on Dynamite this week.
No, Darby clarified that. Can anybody guess what I'm wearing with just the little
British Bulldog?
It's the fucking British Bulldog.
Got it. Yes, I'm wearing the British, but it's cold in this basement, so
so you're wearing it. Sorry, Los Angeles, Jason, with the weather never changing. It's cold in the Midwest.
It is. It
was cold today. It was 71. It was cold earlier today.
Oh my goodness,
Brian! I love it how we can guess your shirt by seeing 1 inch of the neck collar.
Exactly. Listen, it's a limited selection. We've established this. But yeah, I had to bring this out because I've been slacking. Our dear listeners and viewers in the UK, they've been going through a lot of stuff. The Queen of England passed away about a month ago. Their prime minister quit about a week ago. They've got a brand new prime minister. And you guys know when stuff goes down in British government, I have to wear the British Bulldog shirt.
Parliament is your jam.
Yeah. So I owed our viewership and listenership in the UK for wearing the British Bulldog shirt, because they've been dealing with a lot of hard times, Dusty Rhodes, the last couple of weeks with all the stuff that's been happening over there.
I'm sure they appreciate it.
I just do
both of them.
Yeah, well said. All right, so let's start with some wrestling news, like we always do. How about CM Punk? So a lot of mixed signals going on with what's happening with him, but I'll try to give it a little bit of a breakdown. It sounds like things are finally coming through everything that what happened with the investigation of Brawl Out. The word earlier in the week was CM Punk negotiating a buyout of his contract with AEW. Reports that he was not really liked much in the locker room, and they're really not happy or not upset that he's going to be going. So then the question came up, would WWE have any interest in bringing CM Punk back? And another mixed signals thing. Some say that Triple H would be at least open to discussing it, as he knows it'd be big business. Wade Keller, respected wrestling journalist, as a source close to Triple H, gives that a hard no. So guys, if Punk does get released from AEW, you or Triple H, considering everything that CM Punk brings, good and bad, and what he would bring to the WWE, would you bring him back? And if so, what would it look like in terms of a contract of return?
I'll go first. So Money in the Bank was going to be at Las Vegas last year. Right. And then they had to move it because it didn't sell. It was supposed to be where the Raiders play. Didn't sell enough tickets. So it had to move different venues, smaller venue. It's a big if the WWE was to bring him back, I would advertise him for like that type of I guess it's not a pay-per-view anymore, right? They pulled the plug on it.
At this point, he's paid Backlash equivalent. That's what he's at.
But this is the thing. He would sell tickets. I would prefer it to be like a one-off type situation, not a long-term thing. I still am like 0.0001% hoping it's all a work and then he'll return with the Bucks and Kenny somehow. But I don't know. I think we waited so long, and just to see it kind of fizzle, it's not there anymore. And if he came back, I'd want him to come back with Kill Switch music. Don't come back with Cult of Personality. You got to do something, but I don't know. If we're going to do percentages, I'd probably go extremely, extremely low that he should do anything. Go enjoy retirement with AJ and her real name I can't think of.
April.
April.
So It's real simple. You don't bring this guy back. But what you do is sign him to a Legends deal. You make all that money off the merch. He gets paid. You throw in a Hall of Fame induction. And then if, business is going well, when he comes out on stage at WrestleMania, how they have like the Hall of Fame people come out. Yep. You have somebody come out, attack him with a chair, and then that sets up SummerSlam, and then he's done. If you go there. Look, man, I don't care. I don't care if I ever see this guy again. And the weird part is, the story came out today that his dog got hurt.
Yes.
And then a couple teeth had to be removed. And, I'm a new dog owner for the first time ever. I got a dog this year. And I mean, it's interesting because they said the story was they kicked the door and it hit the dog. And then that's what led to everything happening. Now, I think that's kind of bullshit because 20 minutes earlier, Punk was telling people, if you have a problem with me, just come to my door. Look, I don't care what happens to CM Punk. I think realistically, I think there's a better chance he goes back to the UFC before he goes to WWE.
I don't think you're wrong about any of that. Meltzer shot down the Larry thing, but but that's Meltzer, right? I want to believe it happened.
Meltzer got jumped about the GCW WWE relationship.
Right,
so.
Right.
That's true.
I saw that too. I was like, oh, a forbidden door. They're like, it's not a.
Can you imagine Nick Gage coming out on SmackDown with a pizza cutter?
Come here, R-Truth.
Well, Brian, it is the forbidden door because they don't use tables because they're too expensive in GCW.
That's true. It is doors. Yeah, I like where your head was at though, Jay. I think, boy, I can't get past the business side of like some sort of one-shot deal of if you can make some sort of agreement for a WrestleMania thing or some sort of spotlight and be out just like that, and he can have some sort of closure for his wrestling career because, whether you're a fan or not, what a crappy way to go out. You won the title in your hometown.
He did it to himself.
Yeah,
exactly.
Self-sabotage.
Exactly. Yes. So this is his chance of redemption. So that's maybe where I'm thinking that he would have a little bit of a level of, boy, I want to go out on my terms. How do I figure this out?
It's only a redemption if he feels like he did something wrong, and he probably does not.
Well, that's the question. Who knows?
Yeah, I know. Jason, yours is the only one that makes sense with the whole Legend seal, but I don't even think they should do that. Kevin, you mentioned I held it in not to laugh out loud when you said that they weren't able to sell out the football stadium with the roster they have, but CM Punk would be a big enough needle move to fill that stadium. He would.
He definitely would.
He would.
No, I do
not.
No, not if they had money in the bank.
No,
it's not. So, but and you have to remember
how much of the needle did he move?
Full stadium.
Oh nope. Kevin,
and you know what?
You're so positive, but this one you're so wrong.
The four of us should be very grateful that SummerSlam that Money in the Bank got moved, because without Money in the Bank, we're not talking to 3,000 people right now on YouTube.
Oh yeah,
right. But yeah, I definitely think like, Morgan. And his return was like built up for so long, and it's like it was a genuine happy moment, but it turned into the build up for Duke Nukem Forever for the gamers out there. Waited all this long for the return of Duke Nukem, and that game sucked and went away on the clearance bin a year later, like CM Punk's AEW career.
Yeah, you think he gets taken off the video game cover, Kevin?
No, they already still have him on there.
Do they?
But do you think promoted it removed?
You can.
And is your name Kevin?
Oh, I answered before that.
You can easily be removed. The thing is, with the buyout, I bet you he's still on there. It's.
Oh, no, I'm being removed.
Will Larry's broken teeth be a downloadable character?
It's actually downloadable weapon, Brian.
Foreign object.
Oh yes.
Larry is a foreign object.
Will Ace Steel and his ability to bite you be part of the downloadable characters? I actually tried when you brought up Larry. My dog Lucy is right here, and I put myself on mute and called her like 20 times to get her insight on the deal, and she would not come. So
Harley had too much. It was too expensive to get Harley, so she couldn't be up.
Yeah,
we're not paying that shit.
No way. So the other half of Brawl Out, the Elite, Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks. So we know they haven't been on AEW since All Out. It seems like that is ending soon. Earlier on Wednesday, it was reported that they are being brought back very soon, maybe doing some backstage stuff. And then on Dynamite, we see a video of the three of them in big AEW moments that they were in, basically being erased. Guys, your reaction to this video, what do you make of it? And kind of what's your excitement level for their return?
Love the video. It made me excited for them to come back. I absolutely love the video. It was the first time in a very long time that AEW's video production told the story quickly. I loved it.
What it means is this. There is no AEW without the Elite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's just all wrestling.
Let's move on.
Well, one thing, they're disappearing the Elite, so maybe they won't call themselves the Elite. I don't know. I've always been interested in the Bucks. They give such good matches. Kenny's return, right? Oh, I'm hurt. I'm wrestling hurt. And then it like goes, snap a finger, suspended. He can't use that shtick anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how he comes back. Hopefully he just comes back as like a killer, like something different where the Bucks, they can be the Bucks, right? They're just them, but Kenny is so separate from them.
Kenny does nothing for me. You know, it's much like Daniel Bryan does nothing for me. So whatever Kenny comes back as, okay, it's cool. You know, he's back. But
yeah,
you know, I think that they're going to be called the Elite. And I just think this is we need you guys. We're not here without you, which is technically true. So
sure. Yeah, and I want to echo what Joe was thinking, because I was thinking the same thing. WWE, we all know their production and all those videos and anything they do is so top notch. And it's not really AEW's bag. You know, they're the in-ring action, they're the unscripted promos, everything. So that was one of the first times I can remember in a long time that they did something that kind of had this buzz about it from a video. And I was like, wow, that's what kind of took me back to it as well. So yeah, as for their return, I mean, I'm still a little like a tenth of a point bitter about just the whole how they handled the removal of the trios titles and the removal of Punk's titles, and like how it was just like, hey, we're having a new champ tonight. So I'll be interested to see if they address that at all, if that's what they go into for their first feud.
Wow, you got waitress service and everything, Kevin.
That's nice.
Yeah, Kevin G.
Kev, life is good, brother. Look at you.
Life is good.
King of the castle.
I need that hat. Life is good.
So other takeaways from Dynamite. I know, Joe, you were excited about the MJF promo. He ended up saving Mox at the end of the night from the firm. He fired him. They turned on him. So again, maybe teasing the full face turn for MJF.
No.
Okay. Well, give me your thoughts, guys. I didn't get to watch much of Dynamite at all, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything that you took away from the show.
I liked the promo better than last week because it was him being like just a prick. And I loved his impersonation of Moxley.
It was good.
With the cherry on top of Renee interviewing him.
Yes.
That's what made it like, even like Renee was such a pro during it, but she also had her, I can't believe he's dogging my husband, eye roll a few times as well. Like those two told a great story. And he really just, when he's that arrogant, that's good. when he tries to be like, humanize and talk about like his past and like not getting past things like that, it seems forced, it seems fake. And Regal said it best when he's like, if that's the worst that happened to you, Sunshine, you would have never made it in my day. So I think this is the MJF that should be moving forward and leave those other ones behind.
So, everybody's like, oh, he's a face now. He's a face now. The real question is, how do you get him booed again? And you know how you do that? You have him beat up Renee.
Oh, okay.
That's how you do it.
That would work. You're right.
Or at minimum, him and Mox in the ring, Renee's in between, like throws a punch at Mox, somehow hits Renee.
Jericho.
No, that's the Jericho
SummerSlam again.
Yeah.
But you physically can't have him beat the shit out of Renee.
We automatically went to that.
Not beat the shit out of her. Like, I mean, he could assault her,
push her down. Yeah.
Or TNT loves drama. Renee and Max hook up. They date.
Oh my. Okay.
I will say this though.
Those are good ideas.
MJF was still making fun of the crowd. He was still making fun
and
of
they loved it.
And they loved it. That's the thing. He just smiles. He's not loud, obnoxious. He's still a prick, but he's funny.
But it's like it's like 99 Rock.
Comedic. But it's golden. Like and believe me, I know I'm a MJF fanboy. I watched it with Laura yesterday, my wife. She's like, "Who's that again?" And I had to give her the look. I'm like, Maxwell, Jacob, like, and we're just watching it. And she's like,
so is that why she's serving you? Is that why she's serving you beers? Because she felt bad for hurting you so much last night? Because I understand.
But no, it was I thought it was good. Mention Regal, crowd boos, right? Just like this, yay, crowd cheers. And then the pans to the crowd are some of the worst camera shots, though. It's like they zoom or they move to a guy and then they zoom in and then like, yeah, like they're so bad. They're like WWE or AEW needs to just watch a Raw to see how the crowd cuts are. Right. Go to a group of people cheering, not one middle-aged guy pumping his fist so hard. Like it's
Did
just
you see
awkward,
the guy?
Some of them.
Did you see the guy? I feel like he had like an FTR jacket, he had the Burberry scarf, and I think like a Mox hat.
Wow.
I'm like, make up your fucking mind. Like that shit drives me nuts. It's like people that wear like an Adidas shirt and Nike shoes. Like,
with Under Armour socks.
Let's keep it together, folks.
Yeah, like
with Under Armour socks.
But if you don't like my idea of MJF beating up Renee, go the complete opposite direction. They should have been doing this all along, actually. Blackpool Combat Club should be wreaking havoc on everyone. NWO style. And then MJF's the guy that come and save the day. And then when he wins the title, then he becomes, heel MJF again. But there's a lot of ways this can go. Deep down, what I think Stokely and the firm, I think they're all in cahoots with MJF.
I agree. I think it's going to be a big, schmaz of them going, we got you. Yeah. I see that too.
I hate having to put on the logic hat and be like, but you threw me through a table.
It's all good. Friends all the time. It's all part of the gimmick.
Have you seen a Buffalo Bills tailgate? They throw each other through tables all the time and they go into the game.
That's true.
Bills Mafia.
And listen, if that is the case, I'll probably go meh. Like that's what we're doing. But
is that a dud for you?
That might be done for me, depending on how it plays out. Well said. Listen, I think I understand the direction they're going because this pay-per-view pay-per-view, not PLE, pay-per-view for AEW is in his backyard in New Jersey. So he's going to get the cheers. If you're in that New York, New Jersey area, MJF is going to get cheered like crazy. So
Will Dave LaGreca go to Full Gear wearing a shirt with his face on.
Yeah, after the hazing from both
and a jacket.
Yes, I would think I would think he'll have to give that some consideration. Jay, there was something you caught that I thought was interesting. Lana or CJ of the former Lana WWE did an interview. She's on, I guess, a reboot of the Surreal Life. I haven't seen any of that. I don't know if you guys have. But thought it had some interesting info on Miro and kind of how things have been for him in AEW.
The question was, why isn't Miro on TV? And she basically responded, well, it's just like WWE. They have their favorites. And that one, I was just like, whoa, all right. That's I'm curious if Miro got a phone call or if he doesn't care at this point. Because I feel like if Miro went back to WWE, I think he'd be done. I think he would be not necessarily go back to the, when he was the hottest, but I think that Miro in WWE would be huge. The problem is he's 5'10".
Mm-hmm.
So the interview was, I don't know. I mean, it was one of those things where I had it on in the background when I was at work.
Yeah.
And when she said that, I'm like, whoa. All right, now let's see where this goes, if anywhere. I just hope it doesn't mean she's going to be on AEW because she's on the Surreal Life.
Yeah.
Ooh. No, they're not in the same company.
Nope.
Surreal Life is VH1, which is Paramount, CBS, and AEW is Time Warner.
Do you guys know who she's on with?
I think Dennis I saw
Rodman
maybe Dennis
and,
Rodman.
Malcolm in the Middle, and those are the only ones and Stormy Daniels.
Frankie Gomez or
Frankie Muniz.
If only one of us had a laptop to his left next to his beer and could Google the Surreal Life cast.
Yeah, get your wife to Google
Kevin.
it for you. Laura, who's on the Surreal Life?
I remember back in the day I watched it with Flava Flav and the
Brigitte Nielsen.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's how the whole Flavor Flav Flavor of Love started, right?
Oh, are we getting into the Surreal Life podcast moment right now?
Kinda. Brian took me to Flavor Flav's chicken joint in Detroit.
Yes. It did not last long, but we had
first celebrity I ever met was Flavor Flav.
Fast forward many years later. This past weekend, I had lunch at Shaq's Big Chicken.
Oh, okay. Another celebrity chicken.
They put one in my town. It wasn't bad. It was the mac and cheese was really good. It was just that home style, homemade mac and cheese, with Cheeto dust on top. It was really good.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Shaq's Big Chicken.
All right.
So miscellaneous. I'm just gonna roll off the cast.
Oh gosh, I knew you were doing it.
Tamar Braxton. I'm guessing that's maybe
one of the
Tony's
Braxton girls.
Sister.
Yeah.
Dennis Rodman, Frankie Muniz, August Alsina, whoever that is. Stormy Daniels, aka porn star who nailed Donald Trump. Kim Coles. She
was on In Living Color.
In Living Color.
Yeah.
Median. Yeah.
Or Living Single.
Is that 2D?
She was on both. No. She was on the first season of In Living Color, and then she was on Living Single, which Kim Fields was on 2D from back. Yes.
Kim Fields. Oh.
No, it's Kim Coles.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is Kim Cole. She was on there as well with Queen Latifah and Erica.
Yeah, she had the curly
Alexander.
hair, right?
Yeah.
CJ Perry, of course, and then Manny Mua, M-U-A. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, you know who that is?
I do. Wow.
Who is it?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay.
I Googled him. He is a makeup artist.
Okay.
So, it looks like
Keep
VH1
that chicken down, Jay.
brought out the big bucks.
Really?
And I thought that was a piece of Chick-fil-A sandwich.
It was close.
It
was hanging on.
What? No, a piece did come out.
That chicken escaped the Hell in a Cell somehow. Oh my god. That's no Shaq's chicken there, folks. Who watched Halloween Havoc? Anyone watch Halloween Havoc?
They are open on Sundays.
That's true. Anyone watch Halloween Havoc? I caught a couple of matches. Anybody?
I did.
Okay.
I did.
You want to give your thoughts on what you liked or didn't like?
Did not like Dave LaGreca wearing a shirt with his face on that. I did enjoy.
Disappointed. Yeah.
I did enjoy Sam Roberts' Stone Cold costume. That was pretty well done. You know what? I don't. What?
Did you see Twitter was actually buzzing? I'll say buzzing because they had Stone Cold. It's Sam Roberts is Stone Cold, and then what's the blonde girl's name?
Mackenzie Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
People were like, "What? Mox and Renee are back in WWE."
That's good. I did not. See that.
Trending. It was trending because I was just like trying to keep up with Halloween Havoc. I watched results and everything on social media, and it was like hashtag Mox back in WWE. I'm like, what? And then you saw the picture of the costume, and I'm like, oh, these damn idiots.
Well, Mackenzie Mitchell is married to Vic Joseph.
Good for Vic Joseph.
Oh,
man.
Yeah.
They just got married a couple of weeks ago, I think.
Look, it's the same. I'm going to say the same thing I said last week on our show, and I'm going to say the same thing that I said last week on WrestleSense. It outdid the last one.
Mm-hmm.
It was an outstanding show. The ambulance match with Julius Creed, Brutus, and Damon Kemp. We didn't get Gable. What'd you call him, Kevin? Steven Ensign or
Gableson.
Gableson. Yeah, we didn't get him.
It's just his single name. It's like Cher or Prince.
Right,
that's what he's going to come out with.
I really enjoyed the weapons everywhere. The Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez match I thought was pretty awesome. And the main event, I mean, I'm really close to becoming the president of the JD McDonough fan club, man.
Okay.
That guy is just like has serial killer written all over his character, man. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah. What did you think of the haunted house part with Toxic Attraction?
Dud.
Okay, I actually liked it. It was like just cheesy enough. I could get into it. And
check your email. You've just been future endeavored, Brian.
Oh,
maybe you can be the fourth when WrestleSense needs one.
Yeah,
since it'll be Thursdays.
I've done my part. I thought it was fine for what it was. I thought
so dumb. It didn't make sense.
What do you mean? It's Halloween Havoc. Why would they be in a haunted house?
Toxic Attraction was killed, or whatever the hell they were like abducted.
Yeah.
And they just show up at the end. Nah.
Yeah. Well,
I would have been okay. Yeah. I would have been okay if Mandy lost.
Yes, that's what I was calling.
But they got to hit the 1 year celebration this upcoming week.
Yeah,
and then she'll probably lose shortly after that.
Yeah, I like the ladder match. I'm
Always
wondering
great.
if we're getting to a point though of saturation with ladder matches. That's like, boy, it seems like between WWE, NXT, AEW, there's ladder matches every other week. It feels like.
Well, it's just it's like the in GCW, they always start with a scramble.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So I'm okay with that. And the ladder match, I mean, look, there was one at Extreme Rules, and then there was one at Halloween Havoc. Probably won't have one till the next. I don't even know when we'll have one next, but I don't think it's oversaturation as much as you say it is.
Yeah, I feel like AEW. We had the All Out, where they call that the what's the poker term they do for that?
Oh, the casino.
Yeah, that was that one.
The casino ladder match, whatever they call it. But that was 3 months ago, Brian.
2, right? End of August. Yeah. So we're doing math here. That's good times.
Joe, is that correct? I mean, you're the educational expert.
What do you think, Joe?
He's now pretending to be froze. That's my gimmick.
Is end of August to end of
October.
No,
I'm not pretending to be froze.
Yes. All right.
It's about that, but it was like first weekend of September was All Out. So
it's even less than 2 months. Oh,
yes.
Look at that. All right. We'll keep an eye on that one or not. NXT TV. I couldn't think of a good transition. Yeah. The Schism. Joe Gacy and his crew, they've been teasing a new member. This member has been wearing a mask for a couple episodes. The person was revealed to be Ava Raine, who is Simone Johnson, the daughter of The Rock. She has been signed to WWE Developmental for a while now. We're finally getting our first look at this. This is the very first 4th generation WWE superstar.
Asterisk with the 4th generation. Rocky Johnson married into the Maivia family.
But it's still family.
But it's he's got a point because
I see.
Peter
Yes,
Maivia
yes. Okay,
was grandfather. Gotcha. Rocky is part of the Maivia family.
Yeah.
Through marriage.
But Rocky Johnson, but I'm going with The Rock is part of the Maivia heritage. But the Rocky Johnson, okay, I see where you're going.
Her blood inside of her is 4th generation.
Right.
We know this is Halloween, but
yeah.
But no, like her genetics are she has
there's a
go up.
Yeah, it's like 1, 2, or it's like 1.
Yeah, because she has
and then down.
She has the heritage of both of them. So that makes it okay. I think we're overthinking this.
That's why it's
on that
asterisk.
genetics podcast.
This is why it's an asterisk.
In any event. So we're getting our first look at her. And my question is, so this character has no connection right now to her father. And when you compare that to, say, Charlotte Flair, where she, in so many ways, just like her dad, music, robes, the name, everything, right? So I found it interesting. This is completely the opposite way. Where do you guys stand on this Ava Rain debut and kind of the character direction for her?
Let me read the promo, because I thought that was very important. The love and acceptance the schism has given me defies any preconceived notion of who I am supposed to be. This family completes me. I am Ava Raine. When I watched that, I was like, whoa.
It's good.
Like that's some like next level writing there. And her delivery was great. And this is perfect for now. She'll go with this for a while. And it's cool that a cult can wear regular clothes. You don't have to wear a robe and an aluminum foil suit. It's all good. Look,
or
she's been with the company for like 3 or 4 years. Finally getting her time. We don't know what she's like in the ring. And she'll probably have a few more gimmicks before she gets called up. I saw dummies online. She should have debuted in the Bloodline. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, I saw that too.
Shut the fuck
There's a person on Busted Open that said, "Oh yeah, Tamina should be in the Bloodline."
Come on,
it was the Saturday. It was last Saturday, and I can't remember who's the weekend main guy.
Is it that dope Ryan that tries to be like the La Greca?
He
scream. I heard him on a weekend yell at his producer because you know how Brian, you may remember if you have headphones on and you turn your volume up too high, there's like feedback.
Of course,
that happened on a weekend, and this guy lit into his producer, and I'm like, "Fuck off! Like, shut up! You're not La Greca. Quit trying to be Dave La Greca."
So Kev, Joe,
but no, the
main thoughts.
The main thing.
The guy from Busted Open. Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Busted Open. First, he was just like, if a female is going to go into the Bloodline, she has to be talented. So Tamina, no. And my answer with the Bloodline right now, absolutely not. No, like green as can be. From what I know about her, right? She's right where she needs to be at NXT. And the difference between Flair situation is Joe is going to hate this. Then Charlotte's had a lot of work done in her face, but then she looked like $1 million. Like she, the long blonde hair, super tall. She looked like the confidence in a female version of Ric Flair, even though The Rock's daughter looks like The Rock, very, very close. If she was going to go up to the main roster and be a generation of just like The Rock, we don't know if she has the comedic. She would get eaten up alive. In NXT, she can be under Joe Gacy.
Joe turns his head like when I say to my dog, "You want a treat?"
But she, I think she's where she needs to be. Kind of like Rhea in Judgment Day, Rhea had a coming out last week. I think it's going to be a little bit smaller. And if those guys get called up, she can then excel solo style, maybe in NXT. So we'll see. What do you thought? What do you think, Jay? You're nodding your head at me.
Oh, Schism ain't going to the main roster anytime soon.
No, I'm saying if within
I like
time.
them a lot, and I think they're good for NXT. They're not going to the main roster. Like I said, she'll have a few gimmicks, and I'm all for this. Like I said, the promo did it for me.
It was good.
What it said, what it meant, her delivery was awesome.
Joe, your bias is against she who should not be pinned per se.
Thank you for getting it right.
Okay,
right? Fine. I'm not even going to mention she who shall not be pinned because you've all said the same thing, basically, except for Jason, because he didn't mention her. This works for me, and I think it will work for her as well, because she's trying to create her own path. Yes, we know she's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's daughter. We get that. But the thing is, with that promo, they're having her become her own person. Unlike the last time they tried to insult our intelligent of Brian Christopher not being Jerry's kid, and everyone was chanting Jerry's kid. That was
really the last time 30 years ago.
Yeah, I think so, because ever since then, every single one, like even Michael McGillicuddy, so they changed it to Curtis Axel.
Right.
Okay, so this one is still fresh.
Yeah,
and I wanted to say that way for the simple fact that give her a chance to make her own mark. Unlike she who shall not be pinned, who cannot make her own mark because she has stolen everything from her father's gimmick, who, according to like all the old timers, well, he stole it from Buddy Rogers. The thing is, she's not original. Ava Raine is.
Right.
She's part of Schism, but she's already created her own path. Even The Rock got debuted as Rocky Johnson. The asterisks and the Rocky Maivia. He was Rocky Maivia.
Right,
Rocky Maivia. Rocky.
At least get your shit right if you're trying to insult me.
I corrected myself. Great. I just got an
your
email
man
saying I'm not needed next week.
Tassels.
But the tassels in the hair, and it didn't work.
That's the blue chipper right here.
I feel like she's smart enough. I feel like she must be smart enough to listen to her father's advice, going like, make your own path.
WWE is smart enough to not make her
the tassels and smiling the whole time.
Yeah, somebody should have told Dwayne.
I'm interested.
Somebody should have told Dwayne that 15-year battle for Whack Adam, not worth it. That movie was so bad.
You weren't a fan, I saw.
Oh, not.
Well, you know what? When I heard you went to go see it, well, my wife saw your post saying like, I'm going to give it a chance. Before I even heard your response, I'm like, he's not going to like it. He doesn't like DC movies.
It's not that I don't. It's just they always let me down.
There's been two good ones. I agree.
This one, do any of you have any interest in seeing this? So if I say something,
no.
I don't want to.
I'll watch it on HBO Max when it gets on.
That's where you need to watch it.
I'll watch it on HBO Max while texting the whole time.
The Pierce Brosnan character, the one that was supposedly that should have been at ringside of AEW Dynamite.
Oh, that's right.
Or the Hawkman too, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
The Pierce Brosnan character was almost identical to Doctor Strange in Marvel. And then Adam Smasher, his suit was identical to Deadpool, and he was the comedic, to get the laughs. It was bad.
Was Dwayne good in it though? Like his acting?
There were moments that I thought were great.
Because he's gotten a lot better in his movies over the years.
All the press that was done for that movie, he gave away the after credits scene.
Never paid attention to it, so I have no idea what it is.
Superman.
Whack Adam, indeed.
Whack Adam. Did you watch Suicide Squad 2?
The second one?
You mean the Suicide Squad?
I know that was a fun movie.
That was
fantastic.
That's one of your two, Joe, right?
Actually, I meant 3. It's The Suicide Squad, the first Aquaman, and Wonder Woman. The first one. I know, but they're making a second one. And the first Wonder Woman 84 sucked. But
the first Wonder Woman sucked too.
I liked the first Wonder Woman, but that was the third one I forgot. So I'm putting that as 3, but my top 2 are The Suicide Squad and Aquaman.
So Brian,
Brian, what do you think?
Monday Night Raw was pretty good.
You guys see what I just did there.
Wow, Kevin, you are on a roll.
Ava Raine
back on track.
I didn't get to say Ava Raine real quick
because I'm back in black.
I love it. Yeah, it was a great debut. Jay, 100% right on the promo, the language, the delivery. It was really good. Hey, shout out to the one jerk in the crowd that when the mask came off went, Rocky!
I heard, yeah.
Loser. Come on, man. Come on. Let's be nice. But yeah, when I thought about the Charlotte one, I had to think about it for a little bit. And like Charlotte coming out probably in her first match and doing a woo. That seems like, okay, that's fine. It's a little nod to your dad. Could you imagine if she comes out and says, I'm Simone Johnson. If you smell like... My jaw would.
She would get booed. She would.
Yeah, I'd be like, "What? This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life." So I think they hit it on the head on what they need to be doing with her, and we'll see where it goes. Yeah, we haven't seen her in the ring. It's one promo, but a great start, and yeah, happy with how it went so far. So yeah, over to Raw. I thought, I guess, lackluster show. I thought for the most part, a couple of video packages, but a couple of things stood out to me. Ali versus Austin Theory with Seth on commentary. I think this feud has a problem. I think Seth is just too over. The crowd singing his music while he's on commentary. They're not really paying attention to the match. Ali's great in the ring, but I think after he's been booked for basically his entire career as basically a loser and how popular Seth is right now, I don't think one person buys Ali as a threat, and he's just not going to get over. You guys see where I'm saying that?
He needs an edge to him.
Does he need a couple guys?
Person edge?
Does he need like a bunch of guys with him in masks?
He needs a violent streak.
The one's burnt, so
yeah, we can't bring back T-Bar's mask.
Yeah,
got caught in a fire over the weekend. I saw.
I
like him, but I'm worried about it.
If he was 6'5", he'd be a star.
Yeah.
205 Live doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Cruiserweight title doesn't exist anymore. I just think that what is he in AEW? Is he a star?
No, he's another guy with the Wheeler Yutas and the Jay Lethals and the Orange Cassidys. He's a mid-card, you can go in the ring and do great shit, but you're never going to be the top guy.
I don't know. I mean, I really like Ali.
I do too.
So do I.
I think that he, like I said, he just needs some sort of edge to him.
Yeah.
Not,
edge.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think Seth versus Riddle was like a crowd split 50-50, right? People love Seth Rollins. And so I'm like, Ali, God, you got an uphill battle. I hope you prove me wrong. The end of Bianca Bailey, we had Nikki Cross return. Nikki ASH is dead. She seems to be back to her kind of NXT crazy Nikki gimmick.
I wouldn't go that far. No.
She had nice clothes.
She's more like Sandy from Grease.
Yes.
She was wearing makeup.
But what I liked was she attacked every single woman in the match. That's where I thought was the crazy part. Like, I'm going to beat up Damage Control. I'm going to beat up Bianca. I'll beat up everyone. And that's kind of where my head was for that.
She snapped.
Yeah, she snapped. You guys like this change? How would you think? Are you going to miss ASH?
No.
I think this is Triple H.
New phone. Who dis?
New phone.
Or Brian. Brian, what was yours? Blah, 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 blah.
This is Dewdrop calling on Tuesday. New phone. Who dis?
New phone. Who dis?
No, I think this is Triple H fixing another, making another change. And if we get Dewdrop, if we get her name back to Piper Niven, you can put those two together as an ass-kicking women's team, which is I want it forever. Like I said, on Impact Plus, the one British boot camp. Those two are on there in their early days.
Oh,
yeah, and it's a fun watch. It's the second season of British boot camp, and they're both on there. And then obviously, years later they all got back. They got over to NXT and WWE. But this is great for Nikki. I'm all in for it. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like the superhero thing too because I thought it was fun. Yeah. It was something different in the women's division for kids and little girls. But if she's gonna kick everyone's ass, perfect. She doesn't need friends. Her and Piper go way back. They can play off of that lifelong friendship. So,
and it gives another person to go against Bianca.
Yes,
that's the biggest.
Yeah, I think we're ready.
And
to move
she can
on
go against
Bayley.
everybody because she's not choosing a side.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting. Guy that we've mentioned on the program before on Twitter, Wrestle Votes. He did a podcast, and he's a guy who's apparently has insider connections in air quotes. Said one idea being tossed around for Theory with the Money in the Bank is to not cash in until the next Money in the Bank show. And this is something that's never been done before. We saw an NXT tease, the show before Halloween Havoc, but nothing came of that. Guys, we like this idea. What do you think?
No, I don't like it. I think if they're going to cash it in on a premium live event, do it at Mania, main event. Don't wait till Money in the Bank.
Been done.
No, it's been done, but just say like, oh, you won the Royal Rumble? That's good. It's a triple threat match now because I'm going to be in that match too.
So declare it ahead of time.
Declare it ahead of time. Declare
okay.
yourself as the main event of WrestleMania. Hijack the show. And as much as they try to get you to not do it, you're like, no, I got the contract. I'm doing it. I'm main event in WrestleMania. I don't care who's wrestling. It's a triple threat match now.
That was probably what they were going to do with Cody.
Yeah, be an arrogant jerk about it. You're the youngest Money in the Bank of all time. You're already arrogant enough. Do that. And
he has a good beard.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's got a great beard.
That goatee.
Him and Carl Anderson have great beards.
Hey, mine's getting there. Mine's getting there.
I like it, Brian. And this is why. This is why. Let it last all year. Let him be in the men's next Money in the Bank match. Let him have 2 briefcases. Cash in
July.
No, listen. He'll cash in that night, lose, and then immediately get pissed, cash in his other one, and we'll see what happens. Something because it has to be something has to fluctuate or be like, oh, I might do this US title. Or maybe he'll win 2 briefcases, go out double champ. Who knows? If they want to put the rocket on the back of him like Vince wanted to, this is the way to do it. Have him, tease it all year long. But if you tease it and have him lose, then it's all for nothing. It's got to be something huge.
Is John Cena the only person that declared ahead of time? He lost.
Rob Van Dam did
Rob
to
Van
Cena
Dam.
for the
at ECW.
ECW.
And then Cena did it against or no, Sandow did it and lost too, right?
No, he didn't do it ahead of time. He cashed in the Raw after Night of Champions and lost to Cena.
Yeah.
But Cena tried and lost.
Yeah, Cena, I think, was Cena the first one to lose the cash-in?
I think Sandow was before that.
Corbin lost too.
Yeah, he did too, but I think Cena was the first one to actually lose it, which made sense because he can lose it, but he'll get another shot.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cena said he wanted it, lost, and RVD announced it for ECW, won. Yeah, I don't think anyone else has actually called their spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think those are some decent ideas with him. I don't know if I want to see it that way at WrestleMania, but I don't mind the idea. And
why? Like the tease of SummerSlam. Do you remember being there the second we heard A-Town Down and everyone just popped during that great Roman and Brock match? I mean, the ring was already up, and we were already going insane from that.
Yeah.
And then we heard the A-Town Down. If it's built up well enough at a show this big, he will be a star, win or lose. And I think that's really what's more important is him becoming a future star. And right now, with the briefcase, it's not doing him any favors. I think didn't it say this past Monday was his first win in 50 days?
Yeah, it was something like that. He'd been losing every match. So
match.
He ended up beating Ali. And so maybe that's a start of getting some momentum for this guy. But okay. We'll see what happens with that. Going back a couple of weeks, DX25. So bear with me, Jay. I know.
Nobody cares. Nobody remembers.
I should have fit this in while you just.
I'm going to start the 8 timer. We got 60 seconds.
I should have. So
59.
We talked ahead of time.
58.
Billy Gunn. What's
57.
going on? Can he get in there? What happened? Well, apparently it was discussed. AEW, WWE had discussions, and AEW said that they wanted to have a mention for him to appear, like how Mickie James was when she was in the Royal Rumble as the Impact champion. They waited. It looked like it was going to happen, but WWE turned it down at the last minute. They even had flights booked. Guys, should WWE have agreed to AEW terms to have Billy Gunn show up?
All right, everybody. 3, 2, 1.
No. Who cares?
Yeah.
See, I thought because AEW and WWE having a working relationship, that's news, guys.
They don't have a working relationship.
They would in this instance if they would have agreed. And how would that have gone on?
They respect Impact and Mickie James more than Billy Gunn and AEW.
Because
they could have easily
here, right?
If I'll say this, if Billy Gunn would have been on there, it would have been fun, right? Because they would have scissored.
That right.
I could see Road Dogg be like, our con is better than your con. Like they just had to reference AEW, right? Not say, thanks AEW for letting us on like this. Like they could have playfully.
I thought they wanted to do it. Had to be a lower. I thought it was supposed to be a lower third on screen. The AEW logo, not a mention.
Because it was like related to like Mickie James walking out and say, "You're Impact champion."
They did that, yeah.
No, and that's what they wanted. It was like that reference is to play.
It's so similar.
But
look, the only reason Brian brought this up is because he really wanted to win that 6-pack bet with Joe. But what's great is next week it's Billy Gunn's birthday, and they're doing this big ass celebration on AEW.
Yeah.
But it's only going to be done right if the following people were there. Chuck Palumbo. Can you imagine that bit?
That'd be fun.
Them? Billy, I've wanted to do this to you for years. Let's scissor.
That's funny. That's funny.
Comedy writes itself.
That's funny.
And Bart Gunn. We need Bart Gunn on there too.
I'm always a Bart Gunn mark from the Brawl for All days.
They
might want to keep him away considering it's Brawl Out. They just referencing.
I don't know.
But that would be fun.
We'll see what happens next week on Dynamite.
Yes. All right. So one final thing that did happen on Raw was Johnny Gargano pleading with Miz to tell the truth, which will explain why Dexter's been attacking him for months. But we never did find out what the truth is. No, we're not talking about our truth. What we are talking about is this week's 5 count.
Our truth had a great week.
Yes.
That Wrestling Podcast presents the 5 count.
Yes, this week's 5 count is the 5 possibilities for Miz's secret. He's got a secret. We don't know what it is. We're going to take our 5 best guesses on what it is. And off air, you guys were like, wow, mine sucked. And that's
this is terrible.
Because I thought your creativity would have shown through. Does anybody want to go first? Would you like me to go first? Okay.
I'll go first.
All right.
Number 5. Dexter Lumis is Maurice's first husband.
Okay.
I believe Dexter Lumis is from Canada.
Oh,
number 4. Dexter Lumis knows that Miz is a closet Steeler fan. Number 3. Dexter Lumis knows that Miz is more of a Road Rules fan than Real World. And he wanted to be on Road Rules and got stuck on Real World.
Nice.
Number 2. Miz pays for Lumis's Peacock account, much like how Brian pays for mine.
Why is that?
And number one, Miz and Lumis are brothers.
Okay.
George got around. George Mizanin made his way around.
All right. I'll go next on that one. Not terrible. Like you said, it was going to be the worst. I think I'm going for the worst one right now. Number 5, just for the video. He videotaped him crying like Chunk in the Goonies, admitting to all the things he did wrong as a kid. And I ate the bird. Like, if you've seen the Goonies, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Nope.
Number 4 is your number 1, Jason. He's his brother. I put that down as my number 4. Number 3, they have proof that the rumors are true. Miz does have tiny.
Oh.
Number 2.
That's where it goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope.
Number 2, Miz purposely injured Tommaso Ciampa.
Oh.
And number 1,
Well,
I didn't know that
Okay,
Dexter Lumis was Canadian. I didn't know that ahead of time. But I put him
I
down
think,
that,
not 100% sure is that.
and I
If
didn't
someone
go
had their laptop to their left, they could always hit Google and find that out.
Or had a wife to.
since
figure
he's
it out.
never spoken. I said that he's not Maurice's first. I'm saying he's not Maurice's first husband, but he's Maurice's brother
Yeah.
because of the blonde hair and all that stuff. So it's like he's attacking him because he's protecting his sister. Yeah, again, like mine.
What would he be protecting the sister from? Miz?
Miz is a
beat her.
jerk.
Being a jerk.
He's a jerk.
He is never a jerk to Maurice on TV.
He's changed Maurice to not be part of the family and forget about him. Again, I went total soap opera on this one. I knew they were terrible, but he's never spoken. So if you could hear
the tiny
Dexter
balls,
Lumis,
There could be something there.
the
there
tiny
could be
balls
something there.
could be the front runner.
But to hear him, like if he spoke for the first time and it was a really bad French Canadian accent, that would be worth it.
So Miz came out, Brian, I'll go next,
Yeah.
saying his secret could break the internet. Right.
Okay.
So my number 1, I got extremely creative.
Number 1 or number 5?
I'll get to number 1, but yeah, I'll start off at number 5.
You said number 1. You said number 1.
Number 5. I put when Dexter broke in to Miz's house, he found pictures of and proof of Miz being an ex-fat kid. Not a big deal, but I had to get creative. I don't
think they would go that route because of body
shaming.
Number 4, found paperwork of Miz scheduling ball increasement. I don't even know if increasement is a word.
Enhancement.
Enlargement?
Ball enlargement. Ball surgery. Number 3, Miz and Dexter are brothers.
Wow, we all said that.
Yeah.
Number 2, I got I thought of Steph and Triple H. I put Dexter found a video of Miz drugging Maurice and taking an advantage of her.
Yeah.
Well,
in number one, this legitimately, I got extremely creative. Miz loves Shawn Michaels, and I put and was very jealous that Shawn posed for Playgirl. Miz posed for Playgirl, but the issue never came out because of his tiny balls.
Look at how you went around and got to that finish line.
Real
Great
quick,
job.
Brian, before you go, I know you saw this, but Joe, Kevin, you guys know who Ryan Satin is, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw the tweet.
So him and his girlfriend got married in Vegas this weekend, and they went to the same place where Steph and Triple H got married. They recreated the photo, and then fucking Bixen Pan lost his shit over it on Twitter. It's
so
like, come on. But then again, Satin lost his shit on Saturday when they canceled the We Were Young festival. I don't know. You can go back to his Twitter and find out. He was mad. But the wind was like 70 miles an hour. There's no way they were going to do that concert.
Well,
I watched a lot of the.
When there's not many buildings and it's a large flat area.
Yeah.
What do you expect to happen?
I liked a lot of those bands, and there were a lot of those bands at that festival I don't know, but I watched a lot of videos and it looked like a really fucking good time. Like if we need a road trip next year, it's Blink and Green Day. That wrestling podcast goes to We Were Young Festival.
Just tell me when Rage Against the Machine's playing, and I'll
be any update on you and Ryan the Barber coming to WrestleMania and staying in my house?
No update.
Okay, you can go. You can go now with yours.
Thank you. All right, so guys, I took this. You took this a lot more actual like common sense to be in the story, and I went off the wall for the most part. For the most part,
ours had common sense.
Yeah, well, you tied it into like tiny balls and brothers. I just did like stupid things. And
Miz runs a Vans sweatshop.
Yeah. So number 5, his secret is he's quitting WWE to replace Mick Mars as guitarist of Motley Crue. No, that's John 5 that came out today. Yeah. Number 4,
making fun of was it AS?
Sponda. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
Dang, Brian, that's mean.
He's only on number 5. Let him get to the rest.
This happened for real, Kev. This happened for real.
I know. Okay. Mick has like a disease. I know. I'm busting you.
I'm not being mean to Mick Mars. That's
you are.
Miz's secret. Number 4, Miz does believe it's not butter. Okay. All right. There it is. Whew. All right. Number 3.
We're not laughing at it though.
That's fine. I don't care what you're laughing at. There's a laugh. Number 3, he's under investigation because he owes Columbia House for not paying the $19 CDs after doing the 8 CDs for 1 cent deal.
Okay, that's good.
Number 3 was I'm sorry. Number 2, I think, was Jay's number 4. It turns out he hates Cleveland. He's really a Steelers fan. Number 1, he's opening up a divorce law firm called So You've Made a Mistake. And maybe that's why Dexter is bothering him, because maybe there's some trouble with Indy Hartwell. Just saying there. That's this week's 5 count.
This one was pretty bad overall.
I don't think
the worst in 90 episodes.
Okay. 3.
Hit the sounder.
3. Hit the sounder.
Who made your 5 count? Let us know on social media using the hashtag TWP5count.
All right. We apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. They're not all going to be grand slams, right?
Wow.
All right. Let's quickly get to the football picks. So last week, the kiddos, it was a fun week because all 3 games, they were head to head. They all had different picks. The possibilities, Harper, if she got them all right, would have been up 5. And if Brett got them all right, he would have been up 1. We split the difference. Harper is up 2. Or no, I'm sorry. She was up 2. Now she's up 1. So
was there a tie?
No, Brett went 2 and 1. Harper went 1 and 2. So Brett gained a game. So now,
is that proper math? Education expert in the field?
Yes, it is.
That's how it is. So we touched on it earlier. Wow, he said about teacher, and I said we teached on it.
We teached on it.
We touched on it earlier. This should be a banner NFL picks this weekend. This will be out on Saturday, of course. It's the Halloween episode. We've got some fun things planned. The kids will be dressed up. It's going to be fun. And we're going to, I'll tell you, there's going to be a scary game of the week because we try to pick the exciting games of the top teams. We went the opposite direction for one. So we'll have some fun with that. That'll be on our Facebook page.
So the Steelers are on this week?
They were under consideration. But yeah, we got some fun stuff planned for this week.
For a fun Halloween joke, what are guys' favorite types of bees?
Boobies.
Yeah. And that's That Wrestling Podcast.
Yes, it is. YouTube.com/That Wrestling Podcast, at That WrestlePod for your socials, whatamaneuver.net for your merchandise. The boobies and Gableson shirts will be in stock very, very soon. Happy Halloween, everybody. Enjoy your weekend and, of course, enjoy wrestling.
Thanks for listening. Follow That WrestlePod on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. 1, 2, 3, that's it! Thanks for watching That Wrestling Podcast on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for more That Wrestling Podcast content, follow @ThatWrestlePod on social media.